real testimony sent by a follower. Let me tell you what happened to Marisol Vega. Marisol had been living alone in her apartment on Creston Avenue for about 3 months when she started noticing the smell. Not a garbage smell, not a mold smell, something older than that, something biological. She figured it was coming from the unit above hers, maybe a neighbor who kept too many animals, and she left a polite note on their door. The note was still there the next morning, and the morning after that. She knocked. Nobody answered. She asked the building super, a heavy-set man named Gerald, who he had living in 4B. Gerald looked at her for a long moment before he said, very quietly, that 4B had been vacant for 11 months. That night Marisol lay in bed listening. She told herself old buildings make noise. She told herself pipes expand and contract. She was halfway to convincing herself when she heard footsteps directly above her head. Slow, deliberate footsteps, back and forth, like someone pacing. She called Gerald. He didn't answer. She called the non-emergency police line, and a young officer named Tate showed up around midnight, climbed the stairs to the 4th floor, and stood in front of the door to 4B with a flashlight. He knocked. He announced himself. He tried the handle. The door swung open without resistance. The apartment was empty, completely empty. No furniture, no boxes, no sign of a single living person. But Tate stood in the doorway for a long time without going in, and when he came back downstairs, his face had changed somehow. Marisol asked him what was wrong. He said nothing was wrong. He said she should get a white noise machine and try to get some sleep. He left very quickly. Marisol didn't sleep. She sat on her couch with every light on, and around 3 in the morning she heard something new. Not footsteps this time. A dragging sound. Like something heavy being moved across the floor above her, inch by inch, from one end of the vacant apartment to the other. It stopped directly above her couch. Then something knocked on her ceiling from above. 3 times, slow and deliberate, like it knew exactly where she was sitting. She was out of that building by sunrise. She stayed with her sister in Flagstaff and spent 2 weeks trying to shake the feeling. Then one afternoon, her sister pulled up a local news article on her phone and slid it across the kitchen table without saying a word. It was dated 11 months earlier. A woman named Deborah Crane had been reported missing. Her last known address was apartment 4B on Creston Avenue. She had never been found. The investigation was officially listed as a cold case. Gerald the super had been questioned and released. No arrests were ever made. Marisol never went back for the rest of her things. Somewhere in that building, according to the detective assigned to the case, Deborah Crane still hasn't been found. If these shadows reached out to you tonight, follow us for more. New stories.